Hi friends, I'm Uma Shankar Pandey and this is the Dr. USB channel. Jamovi is an extremely useful alternative to commercial statistical packages like SPSS, Stata, etc. It is free, it is open. Jamovi has a single window interface, as we'll see just now, and it is built on the top of the R statistical language, so there are a lot of things that you can do with R as well. It has an extremely easy user interface. Let us see statistics made easy with free tool Jamovi in this video. So we need to install Jamovi from this website, jamovi.org. There are these two options there from the cloud directly. You don't need to install it from the cloud. You can use Jamovi in the cloud directly from the browser, or you can download and install it onto your computer. And as we can see, there are these options there. You can either go for this 2.3.28, which is the most solid version, as they say, and there's this 2.4.11, which we'll be using for today's demonstration. On the website itself, we are informed that Jamovi is a new third-generation statistical spreadsheet designed from the ground up to be easy to use, and it's a compelling alternative to SPSS and SAS, for example. As we've already mentioned, it's built on top of the R statistical language, and most importantly, Jamovi will always be free and open because it's made by the academic community for the academic community. Let's open the Jamovi interface. I've already downloaded and installed it on my computer. So this is what the Jamovi interface looks like. So let's have a look here. As you can see, there is such a clean interface, and those who've used SPSS will find this very similar to what we've seen on SPSS. But unlike SPSS, everything here is on one single window. So this is the data view where we can work on. This is the output section. In SPSS, the output is in a separate window, as you would remember. These are the important sections. We can open or we can import. So we can open files, and these are the data files that are supported by the latest version. We can have Jamovi files, we can have a CSV file, we can even have Excel files. In earlier versions of Jamovi, Excel wasn't allowed. We can import SPSS files, R data files, data files, etc. We can also use the data library here. There are sample sets already there. So if you open this data library, you can see these are the 4 sample data sets. If you want, you can have these sample data sets to get a hang of what Jamovi is all about. The first part, as we can see here, is the exploration. So we can have descriptives, or we can even go for these charts, the scatter plot or the Pareto chart. Then we have the t-test. So it has all the versions from the independent sample t-test to paired sample t-test and one sample t-test as well. We have different kinds of ANOVA: the one-way ANOVA, the repeated measures ANOVA, the ANCOVA, the MANCOVA, and for non-parametric tests also we have these options available here. In regression 2, we have all these important applications like correlation, partial, linear regression, and we have logistic regression, and we have for ordinal outcomes as well. In frequencies, we can have these well-known chi-square tests and log linear regression, for example. In factor analysis, we have the reliability analysis, for example, if you want to find out Cronbach's alpha, etc. And very importantly, we have a confirmatory factor analysis here. If you remember, in SPSS we need to have a separate plugin, which is AMOS. So here it is there itself. So that's for the analysis tab. In data tab, we can work out the different types of data. We'll see that in today's video. We can compute new variables, we can transform new variables, all on the same window. A very important thing here is about filters. Variables, as we'll see, will change the level of variable measurements here. Edit provides us with all these important options. We can use the code block here, and the regular options for bold, italics, underline, and these alignments as well. So let's go back to analysis. A very important thing here is about modules, and this is a very important application here. So we can install all these plugins in addition to what is already there. So based on our requirements, for example, we can have this RJ editor to run our code if required. We can use this power analysis. There are linear models, advanced mediation models, Bayesian methods, so lots and lots of these options. Estimation statistics with confidence intervals, so that's another thing that we can add here to Jamovi. So all important options, as we can see, and quite a lot of them. So there's a application for multivariate analysis as well. If you want to add more tests to the Jamovi analysis, we can add here as well. So for example, if you want Bartlett's test, etc., and the Kolmogorov-Smirnov tests, we can add from here. So a lot of other options are available here as well. Let's go back. If you see these three small dots here, this is again a very important thing here. If we click onto this syntax mode, it will provide me with an R interface. We'll see that later. So we can open it from this PC, and on documents I have this NHS 5 states CSV. So let me open that. As I've already shown that we can get in all these data types, and this particular thing is a CSV. So this will open here on my interface. So here it is. So here, as we can see on the top, this is the indicator. So we can change this if required. So if I double click it, it tells me that the data variable is an indicator. So I can change the name. I can write states there. It's a nominal measure type. There are three options: nominal, ordinal, continuous, or even at times we have the ID. So ID would be a unique number to indicate that particular variable. So I just keep it like that, and as you can see here, it states. Let's see about this. So this is about men aged 15 years and above who use any kind of tobacco in percentage. So I can just write it in a convenient manner. I can say it's tobacco. I can give that same description that I had here. This is telling me that the measure type is nominal and the data type is text. If we do not change the data type, see what happens. See, for example, if I want to do a descriptive test, so we'll go to exploration, we'll go to descriptives, and this is tobacco. This is what I want to find out about. It is just telling me the number, and it is telling me that there are 0 missing. So it does not regard this tobacco as numbers, it just regards them as text. That is why it is not giving me any of these figures. And for that, I'll have to change my scale to something more useful. So I'll go here. So there are two ways of going there. I can just double click here and go there, or I can go to data and I can go to setup and I get the same thing. So the measure type here, since these are continuous numbers, I'll put as continuous. Data type, it can be decimal because we're using decimals, or I can even use integers, for example. So let's keep it as decimals. Let's go back. As you can see here, that this has changed to a scale now, and the descriptives now show me the entire thing. It shows me that the mean is 38.1. It tells me that the median is 38.6. It tells me the standard deviation, the minimum and maximum. If I go back to that column, descriptives, if I want to add anything more, so let me just bring it here. Let me click onto statistics. So for example, I require skewness, kurtosis. I also want to test for normality. All these things will come up immediately here. So you don't have to go back to the output column. It's there, and we can just copy and use it for our reports. So this is an extremely easy way of finding out these descriptive statistics. Thanks for staying along, friends. As always, it was a delight having you here. I'll be back with another video very soon. Till then, have a great time.